What up? What up? What up? What up?
I love you, baby.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Check 1 2 1 2.
Love you, baby.
This thing going.
Time to wake up and move your body.
Yeah. Move your body. Move your body.
What you say? Don't hurt nobody.
Don't hurt nobody.
First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning. Oh yeah.
To love supreme.
Man, here to spread love, y'all.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yo.
Wake on
First
up.
Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Ooh, it feels good to be back. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you,
Man.
chat members, ghost listeners, radio listeners, what's up?
What's up?
Man, December 15th, 2000. Uh-oh, got the wrong date. Look at me.
Yeah, already. Wait, do you? Yeah. It's not December. It's yeah.
How many people are still putting 2023 on everything? That's the real question. Yeah.
I don't write the date that much, but saying it, you still got to think about what you're saying. Still got, you take a little getting used to. But again, new season,
That's better.
same old vibes. If you believe in the concept of time, depending on
Yes.
where you are in the world, I just learned that in Ethiopia, it's 2016 actually.
Say what?
Yeah, Ethiopia. They don't run on the Roman Gregorian calendar with Caesar and Julius and Augustus or July and August.
That's very interesting because now you got me thinking, do I want it to be 2016 for me?
Ha.
You know
I mean-
what would happen is it would be the beginning of all of this, to be real. So like
There you go.
this also is the 7th year of us doing this thing together. We started Mind and Soul 7 years ago yesterday.
Man.
7 years ago yesterday. And it's morphed into what we're doing now, which is First Sky Omaha Radio. We appreciate everybody that's joined us in the chat. Everybody is up.
Yo.
Get your mind blown right now? Mind
I
blown?
am getting my mind blown already. How far are we into the season already? Mine is already blown. You know what this means, Paul, right?
7 minutes in, by the way. No, I'm just playing. What does it mean? What does it mean? Tell me what it means.
So this is not only 7 years ago that we started this radio endeavor, this media escapade. It's also 7 years that I've been knowing you, man. This is yesterday was 7 years to the day that I walked into your office in the basement of Malcolm X Memorial Foundation.
Well, not quite. Not was it? It was the day. It was the day of.
It was the day of the ribbon cutting. You still had your suit on. You was down there chilling.
I forgot all about that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, and again, we bond over the number 7. This is also the start of the 7th season of First Sky Omaha. 7 years I've been knowing you. 7 years we've been doing this. So yeah, it's a 7 celebration.
It's a seventh celebration. That's right. It's all about love. Theme of this season is the love supreme.
Yeah, man.
Love supreme is all about what it is that you need in order to make anything happen. It has to all start with love. And yeah, we put a little thought into that, came up with this, and it really fits everything that we're going to try to do this season. So first of all, just want to shout out and give some love to the people in the chat. The chat's going off already. RG in the chat, top of the morning, and Happy New Year, y'all. Appreciate you. Judy Princess says, hey, y'all, what's going on? What's going on? Mark Manner says, yay, welcome back. Appreciate you, man. Rick Fulton is saying happy MLK Day. It is Martin Luther King Day. Appreciate you mentioning that. Pops in the chat. Good morning, Paul and Buddy. You are loved and have been sorely missed. A good morning to my beautiful First Sky family. Let the family reunion begin. I heard that.
Yes.
Lucia Rodriguez says Buenos dias. Hey, appreciate
In
you.
the dias.
Amir Sanchez in the chat. Good morning. He says getting the band back together. I heard that.
Hey, don't call it a comeback.
I've been here for years.
Yeah, man.
7, as a matter of fact. Marlon Harrison says happy 2024 First Sky family. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Rick Fulton's already jumping in, trying to take control of the show. Did Wayne and McKinney get over being snubbed by Stothard at the press conference? We'll come back to what Brother Wayne and Brother McKinney have been doing over
Yeah,
the break because they've been busy.
been
Busy.
working.
Working. Leia Keister in the chat says, Happy Marvelous Monday. Good morning to you. Really appreciate that very much. Wanda Lewis gives us some good mornings. Also, RG says, all sevens, and we watched them fall. That's right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Prince be telling the truth. Keatron Zykel in the chat up early with us says, good morning from Pennsylvania. Appreciate you tuning in with us. That's what's up.
Okay.
Pop says, and 7 has been my favorite number since childhood. Is that
Okay.
right? You know that, Pop?
Also happens to be the month I was born in, July, baby. So yeah.
There you go.
7 celebration.
Brother Jonathan Benjamin Alvarado's in the chat, man. Woot, woot. What's going on,
Hey.
big bro? How you doing, man? Good
Welcome.
morning to you.
From
Also,
Texas, right?
yeah, you're out in Texas, man, hanging out. That's what's up. Of course, he's a cloud hopper. He might be anywhere in the world. You know
Man,
how we roll.
Let us know where you at.
There we go. Terry Crawford says, good morning. Get ready. I heard that.
Yes,
Get ready.
indeed.
Lots to talk about this season. Lots to talk about today, as a matter of fact. Catching up on some things. I want to hear from you over the break. What are some of the things that you guys have been checking out? Has been top of mind to you? I know that you guys have been putting a lot in Friends of First Sky Omaha. I went and scoured that the past couple of days to see what's on everybody's mind. I really appreciate everybody that's putting stuff in there to let us know what it is that's standing out to you. So there's a couple things that's happening. Of course, Kimra Snipes has been working.
Man. Man, we get the budget right. Got to put you on payroll, camera. I know you're kind of pricey, but
Yeah.
you worked it.
Hopefully we can afford her.
Yeah. Right. Put in that work.
But yeah, she's been putting in the work for real, and I really appreciate the Kimmer report that's been happening. We're gonna have more on that this season as well. Also, as we mentioned, Senator Terrell McKinney, and Senator Justin Wayne have been putting in work since the legislative session has begun in this month, and they've already been really representing as hard as it is, as we already kind of discussed like last season, the tough nature of being on the a legislator in the first place, just going down there, having to deal with the lack of pay, spending that time, even though you got full-time other responsibilities, and then working really hard, especially them two who seem to be kind of working alone a lot of times and fighting the good fight, already coming in, guns blazing, arms swinging. They're trying to get busy with it. So really appreciate it.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was looking at some pictures of Senator Wayne, and like when he first came in, he didn't have the beard, and now he got the beard with the salt and pepper. It's almost like the Obama effect. If you remember, Obama came into office, he was looking all young, had the full black hair. When he left, it was great. It was great. That stress.
All great, smoking them cigarettes, like
Man. So definitely big shout out to the senators. You can see the work, you can see the fight, but they still fighting, they still going strong. So I definitely looking forward to being able to speak to them this season. Again, the session starting back up. Again, big shout out to Kimra already letting us know about some of the bills coming, some of the rules changes, some of the things going on. So yeah, we'll definitely be talking about all that. In the meantime, between time, what's good, Paul?
What's good is we're going to go ahead and start the show, man. 7:07 is what it is. If you believe in the concept of time, we're here again, January 15th, Monday, 2024, for a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Season 7, Love Supreme's going down. What up? Good morning. Once again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. My name is Paul B. I got Buddi3 Da Gawd over here, and of course, all of you, the chat chimers, all of you, the ghost listeners, and all of you, the radio listeners. How was the 6:30 club? How's the Club 6:30 doing this morning? Tell us about the mix. Let us know. I really appreciate everybody that's joined in. We are in, excuse me, in season 7 of this thing we call First Sky Omaha in the morning. We got stuff that we got are going to do this season to enhance some of the stuff that we're doing here. We really kind of are realizing and understanding here after 7 seasons, after the last 6 seasons, that this has really been a conversation with the community, and we cannot do this without you, the chat chimers, you, the ghost listeners that are telling us what is important. We can't just assume we know what's important in our community. We need to hear from y'all about what that is. And you guys have been doing a great job letting us know and letting us being able to kind of discuss it with you and come to some conclusions. So we're going to take that information this season and really try to work on continuing on what we did last season, which was try to put boost to the roots and make some change.
Yep.
But all from a standpoint of love. So today's show, we're going to definitely talk about some of the things that has been in Friends of First Sky Omaha, some of the things you guys have been talking about, some of the things that are in the news that are important to us, but also our reason for making this the season of Love Supreme.
Man.
And we can start by talking about why we got into this in the first place, man. Really, when we went back 7 years to the day as of yesterday, getting Mind and Soul up and running and started, they came to me and hired me as program director for that project over there at the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. And even though the idea was to have a black radio station, really play a celebration of black music, of course. I thought that it might be an opportunity for us to do something that I thought at the time was a little bit more important than just partying, just listening to some music, but also talking about the situations in our neighborhoods, having some news. We needed to anchor it with a morning show. And so Buddy just mentioned he walked in on the day of the ribbon cutting, and we never looked back. The first thing we did was put together the morning show, brought Michael Scott out of retirement and put him on the air with Michelle Troxler, which was fiery from the beginning.
Yep.
And started the morning show, and that was a daily show, Monday through Friday for 2 hours, 7 to 9. So we got started on that, and that really thrust us. We were kind of one of the first ones that were engaged in nonprofit news at that point, because we were raising money to run our own news show through a nonprofit organization. So we hit the ground running with that, and the iteration of what we're doing now, 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 to 9. This discussion group came directly from that first iteration of the morning show on Mind and Soul 101.3 FM. So yeah, that's kind of the evolution of that. If you guys didn't know, we got a lot of chat chimers and a lot of people that follow us from back in those days, even before First Sky Omaha, follow us from Mind and Soul, Mind and Soul people. So really appreciate everybody that's still around. That really helps out. Anchors us in what it is that we've been trying to do here so far. So anyway, that's kind of the brief history there, and we'll definitely be talking about that a little bit more. It just hit me how significant it was that 7 years as of yesterday is when we started all this, and here we are starting season 7 today, and it's a trip, and we've been doing it for the love since then. That's really, we've not gotten rich off of doing what we're doing. This is all been for the community, and we're just reminding ourselves about why, because of the love that we have for Omaha and people in Omaha and the neighborhood, our neighborhoods that we have history in, and what we want to try to do in the future. So,
yeah, man,
is what it is, man. I want to jump back into the chat real quick. I'm seeing everybody jumping in. Sue Kessler Hagen gives us a good morning.
Hey,
Terry Crawford says they down in Lincoln throwing bows. Shout out to them both. The battle is real. Shout out to Senator Terrell McKinney and Senator Justin Wayne. We thought Justin Wayne may be sitting back a little bit, but he coming out swinging.
Man,
he said he gonna make it count this last go around here for him.
Yeah. Last hoorah.
That's right. Battle is real. Mayor Sanchez says, love to love you. That's right. It's all about the love this season. Tony Johnson in the chat, good morning, says Commissioner John Carter getting into the work with the Nebraska Commission on African American Affairs. Need to bring him on the show. Yep.
All right.
On the list. We will definitely be bringing him on the show this season. I already talked to him. So appreciate that very much. Sean McCarthy says, good morning. Welcome back.
Hey.
Appreciate you, Brother McCarthy.
Yeah. Thank you.
There you go. Tony Johnson says, read morning article in the Nebraska Examiner. Yep, we're definitely getting into that. It's going down. Really appreciate everybody that's going in on what it is that's happening here. So that's what's happening. Also, Christy Nor gives us a good morning. Good morning to you. I'd like to hear from you about some of the work that you're going to be doing this season, because I know that you're going to be jumping in This is going to be election year coming up.
'Tis the season.
Work on campaigns, so let us know what you got going on. Really appreciate that. Miss Erica Felt in the morning. Morning.
Hey.
What's happening, Miss Erica Felt? She says, "Good morning. I do have children in attendance today, but very few, so I'll be popping in and out. I'll catch the entire show this evening on YouTube. Great to see everyone. Appreciate that.
Likewise. Welcome.
Good reminder too. Yes, this show will be in its entirety on YouTube and Facebook. Right after the show, you can go back and watch it in its entirety. So please check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also check out the chats when you do that, and add to the chat when you're on it as well. If you got some things that you want to add and say, so really appreciate that very much.
Yeah. The conversation continues, not just in the chat, but also with your loved ones. So again, tell a friend to check us out, or just talk about what's going on. Again, as Paul said, this is a community conversation, kind of an editorial meeting, if you will, just trying to figure out what's the important news. What do we want to cover? What do we want to talk about? And a conversation rules the nation. That hasn't changed. So definitely move the conversation, and let's continue this with our loved ones, our family, our friends, our circle, and to spread out, the spirit of First Sky Omaha. So yeah, we would definitely appreciate everybody who has been doing that, dropping stories, as Paul said, on us throughout the season, throughout our break, which we, maybe get into what we did throughout the break here later on in the show. But kind of Sister Wanda Lewis coming in with some of that information, saying, I heard that DCYC was without heat and hot water for a bit, but I was told today by a reliable source that it has since been corrected. So we haven't really seen any news articles about it. Like she said, she heard that DCYC was without heat.
Right.
So if that is a fact, and there was no news coverage of it, that is pretty interesting. So yeah, we're still here to do those things, still here to do some work on that. So yeah, let's continue the conversation, y'all.
That's what I was thinking too. It's a perfect example of what we're talking about, the fact that this is needed, because we did not get any reports except for word of mouth that that was happening. We heard the same thing. DCYC went without water and hot water and heat for a period of a few days. We've been hearing that. We're trying to call and trying to figure out who we can talk to verify all that. So appreciate Wanda Lewis, who sounds like you did that. Found out from a reliable source that it's been corrected. Love to hear from that reliable source about how long it was not corrected, what was going on there, how those kids suffered over there and everything that's going on. So interesting that they got all this money going into the juvenile justice system, but stuff like that's happening, which is not good. And just from us hearing about it, again, we are always trying to raise a army of citizen journalists and actual journalists that can go and do some of this research and find out what's going on, because the mainstream media is not always going to talk about it. Just a reminder about the reason why we're even here doing this in the first place. So that was a major thing that was going around, and I appreciate the chat chimers that put that in. Friends of First Sky Omaha, put stuff that you hear in there so we can put some reporters on it and really kind of suss it out and figure out what's actually happening and get the facts. And those are our headlines. That's why we're doing this. So appreciate it.
Considered a tip line, if you will. So
there you go.
Yeah,
Sean McCarthy getting some more information. Sounds like he says, he says, I'm currently without hot water, hoping no one else is having this issue.
Man, I mean, but again, if residents are dealing with this issue, we definitely have to question what's going on with the prison system, because we already know that infrastructure is antiquated at best. So
yeah,
I definitely love to hear more information if anybody has anything. Marlon Harrison, he says KETV reported on that juvenile justice system yesterday and said it was out for 3 days. Okay, so there is some mainstream coverage of it. Thank you for that.
Marlon Harrison, appreciate that very much. Miss Erica Fell says the problem is that regular news outlets won't or can't tell the story when it's negative regarding past pet projects of the mayor. Interesting to consider. Terry Crawford is responding to Rick Fulton saying, Wanda Lewis, there was a news story this AM. The kids were in freezing temps inside and complaining to parents and others who reached out to admin. Man, as if admin didn't know that was happening. The parents, kids got to tell the parents got to reach out.
Yeah, because again, it's not like it's just 75 outside. It's tundra. It's tundra level in Omaha. Again, Paul threatened to light up the whole block if his power and heat went out. So you can only imagine what these youths are dealing with.
I'll tell you what. This is a good time to talk about this right now too, because it's cold, and we've been talking about it's cold. We've been kind of joking about how cold it is, but the governor had to have a whole meeting about what the resources that this state that our city has,
Hmm.
because it's like you can if your skin is exposed for 10 minutes, you can get frostbite. That's what we're talking about, that kind of cold out here. That's the stuff that they're talking about too. Like, and of course, everybody is blasting that heat because of how cold it is. It's 16 below right now. No, six below right now, and it feels, and they keep on saying it, but it feels like 35 below because of wind chill and
When
everything else.
hmm
So if it's that, it's you don't want to go outside. You should not go outside with it being that cold, because if you end up getting stuck outside or something happens, your car breaks down, you're in real trouble, life threatening trouble. So they have to have all these things in place. They had a whole news conference the other day where they talked about resources and what all of the entities are doing in order to keep people safe. But we really got to really start thinking about the houseless, and you really start thinking about all the facilities that try to help the houseless people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hmm
what resources does everybody have? I know people that are already delivering coats, blankets, anywhere they can, trying to get them to people, because what do you do? And not just people who are houseless, people in their house.
Right.
OPPD is talking about everybody blasting their electricity because everybody's inside. They're going to have to start turning stuff off, rolling blackouts and all kinds of stuff because of the energy use. They said they're working day and night to try to keep the energy use up and running, but they are suggesting that people turn their electricity off, turn things off to preserve, because so that they don't have to start blacking people out. And as you can see, people in the chat, like Brother McCarthy, saying he's without hot water. So there's already people that are lost electricity. I know people personally lost electricity in their house.
Mm.
What do you do? What do you do then? One of the people that lost electricity in their house has a fireplace, and lucky for them, they could just stand by the fire until it came back on. But what about people who don't have fireplaces at their house?
Right. Right. Fireplace is capped, or something like
Yeah.
that.
And I'm from California, so this is the reason why it's on my mind. Like, I know that y'all Omahans talk about this all the time, but look, I'm stressing it because when I look outside and see it, I don't see a beautiful winter wonderland. I see death on the outside in my window.
Oh man. Yeah.
Especially now, it's real. It's real. So, anyway, your buddy, of course. For those of you who don't remember, Buddy is out in Atlanta, not really having to deal with this.
I don't know, man. It's been not quite 6 below, but it's been pretty cold out here. It's definitely been pretty cold. Got to bundle up. From what I'm hearing, actually, this whole storm is part of like a pretty large national thing. Like, there's a lot of areas around the country kind of getting rocked by this type of weather. If you've seen, actually, in Buffalo, New York, anybody who's catching football over the weekend, the Buffalo Bills had to cancel their game, and there was a whole travel ban in Buffalo, because it was looking like the Antarctica out there. Like, it's pretty bad. So,
Antarctica out here, man.
yeah, man. So a lot of areas getting hit, and of course, we didn't have snow down here, but again, it's still freezing temps down here. So yeah, it's cold everywhere, man. Check on your loved ones, definitely. As um, Mayor Sanchez, again, the mayor, it says get your emergency stuff together now. Candle, battery packs charged, all of that. Yeah,
Extra blankets, all that.
definitely.
Matches to set your furniture on fire.
I would not recommend that. If you do decide to do that, just say you got that from Paul, not First Sky. Paul himself.
Hey, I'm saying if it's that and freeze to death, I'm gonna tell you what it's gonna be.
Oh yeah. Get you one of those big metal trash cans, stand outside.
Sing songs, doo-wop songs.
Yeah. The upper room.
We on deck. Michelle Moreno says, yes, it's too cold. I miss California. Yeah, I do too. I was just out there last week. And it's real funny because now I know I've been in Omaha too long, because
I was thinking about it. I know
walking around in California and it's 55 degrees, 51 degrees. I'm walking around with a t-shirt on talking about this is great. And people are running, ducking for cover, digging out old big snow coats. like California it was like it's too cold out here. Like, everybody was freezing,
Hmm.
and I just thought about it. I always make that joke when it gets to be like 55, 60 around here. I mean, like that's a California winter. Y'all tripping? But I guess I've been here long enough now to be able to feel like when it gets to be like 60 or 55, it's like a relief. It's like, oh man, this feels pretty good out here right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
So yeah, they looking at me crazy now out there.
What was funny to me is talking to you, while you were out there, you're like, yeah, man, I'm about ready to go home. Like, I'm ready to go home. And knowing what you was about to go home too, I'm like, yeah, I'll see how long that feeling lasts.
Yeah, I mean, there was a specific reason why I was trying to get back, but
Hmm.
and guess what? That party got canceled due to the weather. So I was like, dang, I should have stayed. Oh man. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, yeah. Get your emergency stuff together now. Good idea. If we can find any resources or any list of things that you can put out there, I'm sure like the fire department, somebody has some lists of things that they consider your emergency packs. Get your go pack together. Put some blankets in the trunk is what I heard. All kinds of stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that. Got to do something about it. Miss Erica Fell says Buffalo is always deep with snow every winter. Yeah, it's East Coast really suffering right now. Midwest suffering.
Yeah.
Whitney Richardson in the chat. Good morning, fam. Good morning to you as
Hey.
well. Appreciate you coming on in. Yep. Also, Mark Manor says I keep looking down Maple for the smoke on Paul's end. Hey, shout out to Mark Manor, man. He hit me up yesterday saying he picked me up and take me to the store if I needed to. So shout out, man. Appreciate
Man,
the fam,
love.
yeah, the love. Appreciate that very much. Cause yeah, man, the closest, and here's how I know how cold it is too, because I live in Benson, right across the street from Walgreens, and first of all, Walgreens shut down one day because of the weather. Like
Hmm.
the workers were just like, we ain't coming in, which is just rare. But anyway, the next day I actually walked over there to get stuff. I came back from this trip, and of course there ain't nothing in the fridge, and I haven't been able to get to the grocery store because I can't dig the car out.
Man.
So I walked across the Walgreens, man, and so I ventured outside. I went back in the house 3 times to layer up even more because I was just like, I got to cover my whole face and everything, like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can tell you right now, you get out there, you get stuck out there, you're in real trouble, real trouble. Mayor Sanchez says shovel out your neighborhood fire hydrants.
Okay. Okay.
Never didn't think of that. There you
Yeah,
go.
I didn't, but that's a good idea. Definitely a good idea, especially people use them place heaters. That's kind of a big thing. Definitely be careful with your place heaters. Try not to leave them on. Don't cover them. Be smart with all that. That's always a big danger when you're dealing with low temperatures. Place heater. But I want to go back to something you said, man. It's a Mama God special.
Mm.
Keep blankets in the car.
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 4, 5 of them.
Yeah, man. And some matches in case you gotta set them blankets on fire. No, I'm playing. Yeah, you gotta not just that, man. I got like extra coats,
Yeah,
change of
man.
clothes, extra shoes. Ain't nothing worse than having wet socks when you're freezing. You gotta get a go pack, get a whole go pack together, man, for real. And all that good stuff. So yeah, not just in the house, but in the car, of course. If you're driving around, try not to drive around. Two friends of mine got in accidents day
Yeah.
before yesterday.
Slick conditions.
Slipping and sliding. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Miss Erica felt.
what you say?
Yeah, she Paul, she's of your heart. She says 1 year in Portland, my mother really finally rented a house and the gas pipes froze. She broke up the dining chairs and the coffee table
Bro,
and to burn in the fireplace.
look, I'm trying to tell you, I'll be hammering up floorboards to put in the fireplace if it get too cold.
Yeah.
That's another thing to think about too is these pipes. A couple people have already have frozen pipes, and that means that you ain't getting no water on top of that. So many things to look out for here, man. Especially in the older houses of North Omaha. The older houses in North Omaha are subject to all this mess more than anything. Just because of the way they were built, which I don't understand why they were built the way they were built at the time. I'm like, wasn't it cold back then too?
Man.
Why is all these unattached garage? I don't understand it.
Man.
All these garages, you got to walk from the garage to the house. I'm like, put that garage right up next to the house. What y'all
Yeah,
doing?
yeah. I need that entrance. I need that entrance.
I
But
don't
yeah, definitely a real situation. Keep the water leaking, kind of keep it running. To
Yeah.
help prevent that.
Marlon Harrison says there's a lot of cars stuck on Ames and Dodge because people want to be daredevils and travel when the roads are bad. Some people ain't got no choice though. Seriously, man, it really makes you think about like how much do you go to the grocery store? How many times a week do you go? I didn't understand why so many people have freezers in the basement around here, but that's so that you didn't got to go to the store as much.
Oh yeah, deep freezer. Yeah.
Deep freezers and stuff like that. Yeah, you got to kind of really think about what you got to do. It's really that when you come from a place where you're free to just hop up and roll anytime, day and night for something. What's one way of thinking, but to think that you're gonna have to hunker down inside and make sure you the electricity stays on, you stay warm and fed for periods of days and weeks at a time. That's a whole nother way of thinking. Wanda Lewis said, "Be careful with those older generations too. Please check on your loved ones. Please check on the older ones for real." But Mayor Sanchez says, "Kitty litter for traction." He got all kinds of tips.
Okay. Does anybody know if the city still places the orange dumpsters at the bottom of hills and areas like filled with sand?
I've never even seen that.
You never seen that?
Never seen that.
Yeah. If you when it's winter, I don't know if they still do it, but the city for years had always placed just these big bright orange dumpsters at the bottom of like hills and just slippery streets that residents can then go as the dumpsters are like full of salt or sand and you can lay sand on the street. Miss Erica felt saying they don't. Okay, so yeah, I wonder if there's somebody we can reach out to get that back going.
RG says, "Heard you got to call the city and order those sand barrels."
Okay, you got to order them. Okay.
Hood table in the chat. What's
Hey.
going on?
Top of the morning to you.
We're gonna get with you this season. We've been talking about it. We're gonna get with you and have you on the show as well. So appreciate you coming on in. Miss Erica Feld, I know you from Oakland. She said, "Keep a whole bag in the trunk, clothes, water bottles, blankets, etc." You crazy.
It's real though. It's real. Life saving.
For real. She also said, "I get groceries delivered and tip the delivery twice in this weather. If you can do it." I tried to order some stuff too, and they couldn't find no delivery drivers for a couple of times that I tried to get some stuff delivered, and so yeah, it's hectic out there, man. It's a whole different way to live. We definitely got to try to keep each other. And this is a real time to really display some love,
Yeah, man.
like it's a natural thing. We all kind of look out for each other when situations get rough, and they document that in other countries too. Other countries way more hospitable. You can be driving down the road, if you've broken down in the snow, somebody usually gonna stop and help you because you can't just be stuck out there. So, and everybody knows that. So everybody kind of kicks in, taking care of each other. But it's a good reminder. Take care of yourselves first too.
Oh yeah. Can't pour from an empty cup, but if everybody does a little, nobody has to do a whole lot.
There you go. Kimra Snipes in the chat. She must have heard her name. We've been talking about you. You've been doing so many reports and so much good work over the course of our break, and we really appreciate that very much. Can't wait to dive into some of the things that you've been sending us, which we absolutely will. And this season, talking more with you about some of the things that you've been doing. So appreciate that very much. The Hood Table says, "Hope everybody's staying warm." Appreciate that. Hood Table says, "One of my sisters had to go to a hotel last night because their furnace went out in the apartment, and her landlord is being a slumlord." Been happening a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, yeah, definitely check on your peoples. And if anybody knows of any organizations, Salvation Army, anybody out there that's providing some assistance, let us know. Spread the word, y'all. Spread the word.
Please do. 8:33 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, let's take a quick break. We'll come right back. Jump into a couple of things, and don't forget, let's stay to the end with us today. We're really going to talk about the last 7 years that we've been doing what we've been doing. What season 7, Love Supreme, is what we have to offer here for the next season coming up as well. Kimmer Snipe says, "I write not here my name, but man, y'all can't leave anymore." Don't like this going on break, I guess. Don't like this going on break.
Well, we back.
We'll be right back too. Stay tuned for Sky Omaha Radio. For Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the DS.
Going down. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the
All
morning.
B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, we're back. All of
Hey,
you,
all of y'all.
chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, appreciate you very much.
Thank
That
you.
was a Boogie Woogie Jones track. I just went out and saw Boogie out in California, so
Yeah,
let them
man.
know about everybody who's like, who's making them right near the beach tracks, man.
Right near the
Shout out to
beach.
Boogie Woogie Jones. That's what's up.
Man. Speaking of that, what'd you get into over the break, man? How was your break?
I got to go spend some good time with Pops, man. Pops got me on the table. We
Yeah.
went and bought a little table and been set up in his pad and played some poker over the break and showing me the ropes, showing me stuff I never knew. So that's what's up, man. We had a good time hanging out. My family from California was out in Vegas, just happened to be. So we went to a couple of really dope spots. Kind of found some of the Black Omaha restaurant scene going on. Like we knew, I mean, not Omaha, Black Vegas restaurant scene going on, which it seemed like it should be the case, but nobody really didn't seem
Hmm.
like anybody really knew it. But we found this one called the world famous Grits Cafe.
Mm.
And that kind of opened up the world of all the really dope black restaurants out in Vegas. And so we ate at a couple of, did some things, hung out with Pops.
Okay.
I jetted out to Cali for a little minute and did some stuff, hanging out with some friends and fam in L.A. A couple jam sessions, so that was good.
Nice.
Yeah, came back through the desert, man. Hung out in the desert, hung out in Desert Hot Springs and stuff with some friends, and then headed back to Vegas, and then took on off and came back to this tundra of a situation. So,
Yeah.
so
While you was playing the song during the break, I was thinking of like some of the pictures you were posting.
yeah, man.
The California sunset and the palm trees and the beautiful scenery and just the vibes versus the pictures we saw. Have you seen the picture friends of the car and the hill of snow?
Man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, tundra.
it-
It's a tundra out
it's a
there.
tundra. But really, when it comes down to it, it kind of doesn't matter where you're at. It matters who's there. So
It's a good point, man.
yeah. So
Good
I'm
point.
glad to be back in town. I'm glad to be able to be a phone call away from sis and nephew and mom and and that's kind of my motivation. I would just, like I said, just stay here, and as long as OPPD act right, keep the heat on and be chilling. We won't have to burn no furniture or nothing. So I'm just here chilling, But
Hmm.
the fact that I'm one phone call away from some loved ones that might need some help means that I gotta make sure that I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
Digging the car out, putting the blankets in the trunk, doing the thing. So it's taking care of each other. That's what it's all about, man. It comes from the love. It's all about the love, and that's that. So
Yeah. It's a part of teamwork making the dream work. Pops in the chat. I seeing you saying you had a blast. Beautiful, beautiful. Actually, my pops came down to
yeah,
Atlanta during the break too. So yeah, has had some father son time. Chilled out. Got to hit some white ball, smash some white ball.
nice.
Yeah. A little golf. So yeah, definitely enjoyed that. Actually, Mama God also made her way
Yeah,
out here. Kind of she was kind of out here during the tail end of last season. So yeah, definitely enjoyed time. Hopefully everybody out there got to have some good time with the family and things like that over the season, over the holiday season. Let us know what you did during your holiday
yeah,
break and things like that. What'd you get into? Did you travel? How was your Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and all that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know, and also let us know what were the headlines for you over the break.
Yes.
I know that you guys have been putting stuff in Friends of First Sky Omaha, which I really appreciate you doing, letting us know what things were relevant as far as news is concerned in our neighborhoods while we were on the break and didn't really have a lot to discuss about. And we will be discussing some of those things over the course of this season as well. We're not just going to leave things there. If things are, especially if things are holding on, especially if there's still things to talk about that are worthy of us giving some consideration, some thought, and figuring out some action on. This is legislative season. This is getting to be a voting season. There's a lot going on that definitely is worthy of some discussion. So we're happy to have everybody back and talking about that. Amy Hupfless is in the chat. What's up, Amy H. Dot? She says, "Good morning, fam. Welcome back. Appreciate you very much." I see Brother Knight says, "Welcome back on a frigid Monday."
Yes,
Very cold
sir.
outside.
Yes. Welcome, Mr. Stewart.
Yes. Welcome. Miss Erica Fell says, I have two children whose parents had to work on this Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and they started dancing to your music. Oh,
Hey, feeling the
sorry they had to
vibes.
work. Yeah, this is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's interesting that we're coming back on this particular day.
Yeah.
Who has off? Who has off? I see a lot of people checking us out this morning, so maybe that means that you have the day off. Let us know. Let us know. Wanda Lewis says the MLK March hosted by Pilgrim Baptist Church has been canceled until February 10th due to the weather. Was supposed to happen today. Now, I wonder if
Okay.
that's the same. I wonder if that's the same event that I have here. Yeah, March to Pilgrim Baptist Church. So this was supposed to be today at 2 o'clock. Too cold. Too cold for it. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. But I'm glad they're making the decision. Go ahead and postpone this. So thank you for that updated information, Miss Lewis. Really appreciate that very much.
Yeah. Safety first.
Safety first, man. February 10th. We'll be looking out for that. Maybe you have Tim Clark has been really pushing this one, so maybe we'll have him on and talk about that as well. A lot of things are going to get pushed because of this weather. I'll tell you that. Ms. Erica Fell says Pillen refusing SNAP food for children, but now a senator has a bill to force it into happening. Yep, big headline for us over the break. So this is something we'll definitely be talking about. He's one of a couple of governors in the Midwest that was refusing aid and lunch over the break for kids and all these things. So we'll definitely be talking about that and what people are doing to fight it. The Hood Table says, yeah, I had to work too, but at least I get to work from home. Heard that.
There you go. There you go.
Yes, definitely a blessing to be able to work from home. Rome's Review says one of the historic black churches in North Omaha got funding to help with community building. One of 60 churches in the nation.
Okay. You know the name. Do you know the name? Maybe we can reach out, try to do some building.
Yeah, send some information on that if you would. Kimber Snipes says, I'm off. I'm getting an award today at the Interdenominational Ministerial Alliance Luncheon at the Hilton. Nice.
Okay.
The MLK a Drum Major for Justice Award in Accountability. Whoa.
Okay. That's heavy. Round of applause. Congrats to Kimra. Yeah. Nice.
Congratulations.
Just, drive safely on the way to get the award.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah.
But congratulations on that. That's
Yes,
what's up.
yes.
That's what's
Maybe
up.
can you accept it over Zoom? Saying
Quite
like
doing
they
that.
do at the Grammys.
Beam it to me. Send the plans over to my 3D
Yeah.
my 3D modeler. Mama God in the chat says, good morning, Fat. Good morning, Mama God. Appreciate you. Says Happy New Year. She says, missed you all. I've been gone since before Thanksgiving, since I was there with baby buddies who never give me free time while I'm there.
Oh yeah.
I missed you and glad to be back together. I love you and looking forward to our time together. Appreciate you, Mama God.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Beautiful.
Yep. Congratulations to your award, Kimmer. The Hood Table saying, appreciate that. Congrats, Kimmer. Everybody getting some congrats to Kimmer. I love it. Yes, well deserved, Whitney Richardson. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Kimmer says, these streets are ridiculous, yo, and I live at the top of San Francisco style hill. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those hills firsthand. It's treacherous.
Yeah. When I was living here however long ago, long time ago, I lived here a year in my 20s to stay with my great grandfather. And the first time I had to drive in that mess, I came sliding all the way down one of them big San Francisco hills. I was like, I thought this was supposed to be the plains. This is the flatland. What's all these hills doing around here? And I slid all the way down to the bottom and hit somebody's car and kind of got out the car. Like, I'm from California. I thought we might be fighting over me bumping this dude's car like this. He got out, looked at that dent, and he was like, well, don't even worry about it, man. I got too many dents on this car already. We play bumper cars out here, so let's just get on what we got to do. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a thing. Don't park on the street if you can help it.
And if you do, hey, you might get your car bumped. And
A little ding.
apparently it's not a thing. Okay. But yeah, be careful on that San Francisco style hill, please, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway. Congratulations, man. That's huge. That's huge. Kimra, you are a powerhouse. I got to tell you, all this work that you've been doing, the stuff you've been sending us, the stuff you've been
Yes.
putting on Friends of First Sky Omaha, your notes. You are kind of the minister of information, and we really appreciate all the work that you just do out of the love. So appreciate it. Kimmer says, Laura Parr, glad you're okay. I saw someone slide down Hickory and go all the way through 13th Street. Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
is dangerous. Like we're kind of making light and making jokes of it, but it is dangerous out there. And again, let's remind each other that Omaha religiously is voted as the worst drivers in the nation. So be careful. Defensive driving tactics, y'all.
Listen, I will say this. We've been saying that. I have to challenge that. I don't know what Newsweek is talking about. I just came from Vegas,
It's
and
bad,
bro, the drivers were like 10 times worse than any Omaha drivers out in Vegas.
really.
Yeah. I forgot how bad it was. It's bad. It's I challenge that Newsweek article about Omaha being the worst. It can't be. It can't be when you think about it. But yeah, Vegas was way worse. Way worse. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what this year's report comes out and says about it. We'll see.
Mm.
Brother Kasim is in the chat. He
Hey,
says, peace. Yes, he said, yes, sir. Welcome back. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you very
peace,
much.
peace.
We'll definitely be checking in with the BAA this season on a regular basis to find out what's going on in their world, in our world. Let's really kind of make sure that we check in and bring the brothers on, man. I hope that you had a great time over the break, over our break.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what you guys got into over the last month. Love to hear about it.
Yeah, brother Kasim says he out there on the 18-wheeler right now, swinging. Man, be careful.
Be careful. Kimmer Snipe says the LB 620 ain't no joke. We got to organize. She's still on that 620. Remember, we found out from the senators that this bill is that's the bill that they're talking about trying to be able to prosecute what is it, 16-year-olds,
12-year-olds.
12-year-olds.
Yeah, give a felonies to 12-year-olds and be able to detain 9-year-olds.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And again, this is a response to a real issue in the community as far as just older individuals influencing our youth, to do some unsavory things and even give them the materials that they need to take out some of these crimes. So this is an issue as a community that we do have to address. And that is a part, I guess, kind of in the last 15 minutes or so of this first hour. That is something I want to get into as far as what to expect here in season 7 and what we are hoping to do and bring, of course, still continuing to have conversations, still continue to bring light to those situations, but also carrying on from what we started with last season, Boots to the Roots, really mobilizing and, as Kimmer said, organizing. So big shout out to One Omaha, a big shout out to Heart Ministry Center, big shout out to some of the other partners we have out there. The Nebraska Civic Engagement Table, White Shell, the work that they're doing over there, to get some advocacy going and get some real motion going in the community. So we got a lot of things cut out, as Paul mentioned several times throughout this first hour. Again, election season, sessions back in order. Yeah, it's a lot of things going on that we can get ahead of.
Yep. We learned over the course of the last couple of seasons about what we can do to try to help and back the senators and all the work they're doing. We're definitely going to highlight some of the stuff that the senators are working on out there for us and get back to the organizing, getting people up to the legislature to be able to fight for or fight against some of the bills that are happening up there. Kimber definitely is going to be a part of all that. We can see she has been, and she's probably going to continue to be. Mm-hmm. And we definitely need to put some more people on deck with her and make sure that we get that happening this season. So that's something that we'll definitely be doing. And of course we'll check in with all the organizations that are doing all the mobilizing for the voting as well, and hopefully enhance that. And we'll have to see what Brother Preston Love Jr. is doing, and we know that he just announced that he's going to be running for office.
Yes.
And I think that he's if I remember correctly, said that he's kind of handing over the reins of Black Votes Matter to his team. And so we'll check in with the team and see what they got going on for Black Votes Matter this year as well. Mm-hmm. Lots of stuff to talk about. Also, we have to catch up on this 531 bill as well, the 1024 money.
Yes,
some of that's been handed out. Rick Fulton actually in the chat is saying, if nobody's noticed, the federal ARPA money intended for North and South Omaha has not gone to local entrepreneurs who applied, but to the already wealthy entities of Creighton, the city of Omaha, Yanni, and Charles Drew. There are some entrepreneurs that have gotten checks. So some of it has gone, but yes, we need to be catching up on exactly what's been happening with those funds, because a lot of those funds we thought were coming to North Omaha. It doesn't seem like they are. Not as much, not as many. Don't quote me on that. Got to catch up on the information on that and find out.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still going to be trying to reach out to somebody from the DED to come on to the show and let us know how that's progressing, because it's still progressing.
Yep.
So we'll definitely be talking about that. Mark Manor says, headline for me is putting out bids for contractors to take down houseless encampments around town, yearly contracts. Houseless encampments around town. Okay. Yeah, give us some more information on that when you get a chance, or maybe we can talk on the phone and find out about what you got going on here. So headline for me is putting out bids for contractors to take down houseless encampments around town. Who's doing that?
Yeah.
Who's
And
doing that?
who's fulfilling these contracts? Like, what kind of business is that? We're in the business looking for contracts to shut down homeless encampments. Like, what business is that? What industry is that? Like, what is that?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, man. Yeah, we need some more information on that for real, for real. Mama Guy says Buddy lived on one right before relocating. They parked around the corner and walked around the block to their cars. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
some hills ain't no joke. I definitely did too. Sliding home a few times. Wanda Lewis says, I didn't see a whole lot of preparation for the snow. People were getting stuck due to snow over ice, even on flat land such as Lake Street, Ames, Hamilton. I wasn't here for that, but that makes sense because I remember it kind of freezing over, and then I heard snow was sitting on top of the ice.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of crazy. Hood Table says, congratulations on season 7. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Appreciate that
Thank you.
very much. Also, Kimber says, shouts out to the BAA. Sandra McDonald's answers to my questions last week did not put me at ease. We got so much to talk about. We really appreciate that very much. Huge announcement, Brother Kasim says. So, yeah, I can't wait to catch up with the fam here and find out what's going on here around. When I take a break, I be trying to take a break. So I kind of didn't look at no headlines and stuff too much over the break, trying to clear my head and get some different thoughts in. I thought I'd do some work on my trip. Didn't really happen. I kind of got caught up with what I was doing out of town, which is kind of needed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely catching up on some things too. How about you, buddy? How much did you were you able to check out, and what did you do over the break? By the way, we never asked you that.
Yeah, I mean, aside from spending time with the fam, man, of course, just really relaxing, and also working on the website. That was kind of the big thing. That was really the big two things for us over the break. That's really what we were working on. I too did unplug from the news. Didn't really catch too much news. But really was working on the website. That was kind of took up a lot of my time, and I'm very excited. We're very, 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 very close to launching this website. So definitely look out for that, y'all. It will be the home of all things First Sky Omaha, not just the morning show. Again, it will be the home. Of course, we were planning on bringing back our content creators camp sometime this year. For those of you who went through the camp last year and are, interested in writing some things and, posting some things, we do now have that set up on our website. So you'll be able to do that. We're definitely looking to build more original content. So it's kind of setting up the foundation to do that. So definitely looking forward to that. Just excited about all the things that we can do, and plan to do with the website. Still have our digital TV channel. We're still developing content and preparing for that. Radio station. Man, I actually over the last couple of days I've been at a DJ Power Summit. So shout out to the whole coalition DJ fam.
Hey.
Shout out to Big X. Doing a lot of networking, doing a lot of just meeting people and connecting as far as the radio tip goes. And a lot of things can happen with our radio station, even though we're not terrestrial. Of course, a lot of you already are on your phone using digital apps, listening on Spotify, listening on YouTube, wherever you listen to your music. Most likely it is on your phone. It is digital. So hopefully you're also tuning in to First Sky Omaha Radio. Of course, you can tell Alexa you want to get down. But we're building on that and expanding that, and we'll be rolling that out this year. Very, very close to rolling a lot of that out. So working on that, man, just getting ready for that. And of course, going back and forth with the DED, trying to, we're, as you mentioned, we're still paying attention to what's going on with 531. And, there's still more apps and more hoops and just a lot more things that anyone else is going through that process still. I'm sure you're very familiar with that whole process, and Yeah, we have some feelings about that. We will be talking about that, but that's kind of been dominating a large portion of our time during the break. And that's really kind of been it, man. Playing some video games with my brother, just really as Whitney is saying, that's good for the mental health to completely unplug. Watching some movies, spending time with the babies, playing some games with my children. Just trying to
Yeah.
unplug because again, this is going to be a very very busy and active season, and expecting some things as far as just social activity, social movement, conversations we're going to be having here on this platform. Again, I'm sure a lot of you have been seeing some of the footage coming out about the immigrants that's coming in. I've been looking at it, kind of paying attention. That is some of the news that I have been paying attention to kind of what's going on with that. And I feel like I do want to touch on that sometime throughout this season.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's kind of where I've been over the last month.
That's what's up. And the good thing about the Chad Chimer situation here, I love that we have our Chad Chimers, because the Chad Chimers, while we're taking a break, you guys are diligent and vigilant in keeping track of what's going on in our neighborhoods and the news that it's relevant to us and been posted in Friends of First Sky Omaha. I really appreciate that. There's going to be other places that we're developing for you to be able to post as well, because we are doing some refining of the Chad Chimers this season as well. That's another big step for us. We definitely are going to put together some perks for a lot of you that have been chat chiming in the past, and kind of really formalizing the group, because you guys really are our co-hosts. You guys really are ministers of information, and everything else that's been going on here with the chat chimers. This show wouldn't be what it is without you guys. So we definitely want you to benefit from whatever First Sky Omaha is doing as well. So we're building out this whole infrastructure for the Chat Chimers Club. And we're going to start working on that this season as well, so that we can kind of go into the next iteration of this. Though people have been asking me, is it going to be a season 8? Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. So we'll be working on some things that's going to start a new iteration of what it is that we're going to be doing. It might be season 1 of a new thing.
Of a new thing.
So we'll definitely see. Brother Kasim in the chat says, I've been on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 real heavy, and wrestling. Okay.
Man, that's all I've been playing, bro. Send me,
right?
text me your gamer tag. Let me know what your gamer tag is. I send you the friend request. We can hop in the squad. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's what's up. That's definitely a vibe in the culture. If you're not in the video game culture, then you ain't really dealing with the young folks. So y'all better get up on it for real.
Yeah.
Whitney Richardson, I saw, was in the chat saying something earlier. I had a conversation with her last season about her coming back and being a part of the show this season as well. So shout out to Whitney Richardson, that's willing to come back and give some of her expert political commentary on what's going on this year, this election season, and everything else that's happening. We got lots to talk about, lots to break down with that. And I love the big brain of Whitney Richardson to have her come on and talk about some of these things that I need a whole lot of lessons on. So really appreciate that very much. Tony Johnson said Mayor's own self also declined to comment, talking about the city of Omaha wrong for contracting when their homeless coordinator declines to comment on this. So there's a lot going on with the homeless situation here in these camps. I'm just learning about from you guys in the chat. Really appreciate everybody that's talking about it. Miss Erica Felt says the state was to distribute the remainder of COVID funds last year by September 23. They are doing so this year. One grant was supposed to be distributed to SUTQ Step 2 and higher, but no one knows where it is. All providers were to receive a cash grant this month, but no word on when, where, or how much. Sorry, I'm looking at this thing wrong.
Gotta get your readers on.
A technology grant application is open, as is a restoration grant, both from centers and in homes. The stipulations aren't appropriate, but we have no choice because something is better than nothing. Okay, so funds going to childcare facilities, in home and centers. Some issues there. That was Miss Erica Phelps' headlines. Appreciate you talking about that very much. Break down some of these things that we need to be kind of taking a look at. Remember, we've been trying to build an army of journalists, citizen and otherwise, citizen and actual, that can do some of this research and look into some of these things as well. Shout out to Chris Baby Boy Bowling, who's over there at the Flatwater Free Press right now. He's already jumping in, friends of First Sky Omaha, and talking about some things too. He's trying to reach out and have some, kind of call to action things happening so he can get some information on some articles that he's working on. We'll definitely have him on and talk about the stuff that he's working on as well. He's turning out to be a reporter, a very trustworthy reporter, especially in the black community, trusting Chris Baby Boy Bowling and really kind of doing a big thing by being over at Flatwater for as diligent as he is to dig into the real stories that have to do with our neighborhood. So shout out to him, and we'll be talking about what he's asking here in a minute as well. But this is some of the stuff I've been thinking, man. Like this season, we got some things we need people to check into. Let's hit up some of our investigative journalist friends and be like, look, we need to dig. We need to dig on this. This is something that the Chadsheimers need to find out about. So let's definitely do that. Miss Erica Felt, this issue that you're talking about, definitely reframe it for us on what it is that we need to be going to find out about and see if we can start sussing some of these things out for real.
Yeah. And also, this is something that we've been working on the last several months, especially Paul with in a partnership with Metro. And so, looking forward to having these conversations, talking about criminal justice reform. We actually have a few stories. Big shout out to Senator McKinney in the editorial that he wrote about closing down these prisons, closing down some of the prisons here. And again, we've been in partnership with Metro, doing some documentaries about their reentry program. So looking forward this year to also having conversations in different ways, creating some other content, still surrounding the same issues, still surrounding the same conversations, but again, having these conversations in more in-depth ways and just different mediums. So yeah, definitely excited about that this year as well.
Shout out to Mark Manor, who says, if I put the KETV story on the homeless encampment on Friends of, okay, we'll definitely go back and check that out. I must have missed that when we were looking at it this morning.
Man.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. 8:02 right now, if you believe in the concept of time. Before I get to a break, I just want to shout out to Amy H. who's saying Omaha is lucky to still have Chris Bowling.
Yeah,
for real.
Agreed.
Kimber Snipes is very trustworthy. Definitely appreciate all his work and the work that Flatwater Free Press is doing, and the fact that they took a chance on bringing Chris Baby Boy Bowling on, also Carla Velasquez as well. So they brought the reader team on because they know the work that they've been doing and the credibility they have in so many different areas in so many different communities. It's just a credit to them to be able to hire those guys on and keep a check coming, keep them in Omaha. Because everybody, you know what I'm saying? They could have very well left town,
man,
after the reader. So, shout out to them. Wanda Lewis says there was 360 new cases of COVID in Omaha last week. COVID is back with a vengeance. People in my family been getting COVID.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, man. So it's back with a vengeance. The information that I get just from traveling, talking to people on my travels, seeing what's going on at the airline, seeing what's going on at the doctor's offices in Las Vegas and other places. Definitely back. Don't really know if the news is talking about it as much. I have seen some alternative news organizations talk about it a lot.
Okay.
But it's definitely put the mask back on time because it's pretty it's coming back with a vengeance.
Oh yeah, I mean we talked about it during the pandemic back in 2020 whether or not the mask will be a staple, kind of a part of the at least the seasonal wardrobe. And I'm definitely seeing a lot of people still in masks when I go to grocery stores and things like that. So especially if you feeling under the weather, you feeling sick, keep them germs to yourself. Keep them germs to yourself. I did hear about kind of word of mouth of like a lone cough type situation. It's supposed to be like 100-day cough going around.
Yeah, some kind of. I think I got that. I think that's one I got.
Okay. I don't know if that's not the COVID. Is not a connection there. Is that something different or?
COVID test is come back negative, so I don't know what it is. But it's I heard when I was about 10 days in, I saw somebody post something about they call it the 9 day death or something like that. They were talking about where everybody was feeling like they had the flu for like longer than the flu actually.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But as far as this 100-day cough, that's the first I heard of that. I've definitely had a cough for quite a while. And was very surprised the fact that it has not gone away for a minute. I was definitely in my mask on my trip in a big way for that very reason. Like I'm I'm like, I ain't trying to cough on a whole bunch of people. I've been tested, no COVID, but still, like, there's all kinds of stuff going on. There's all kinds of upper respiratory things happening,
Mm-hmm.
and this is also flu season. So,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
RSV.
Whitney Richardson says, I started off this year with COVID myself. Mask back on, man.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's rough. Ms. Erica Phelps says, if any child care providers want to discuss or have questions about these grants, please hit me up at a Nebraska provider spot. I want everyone to get what they can to provide the best to our community's children. Shout out to Ms. Erica Phelps for being a beacon on this. She's definitely the expert of the group here on the child care situation, and has a group of her own that she has these discussions with. And so, yeah, hit her up. Definitely hit her up, and really appreciate all the information that you provide us on this subject as well. Everybody got kids that got to be watched around here. So, a big thing. Wanda Lewis says they also have new cases of RSV. That's actually what I thought I had at one point. And so, yeah, there's a lot going on right now, and it's always best to wear a mask, especially in, they've been calling it flu season for years. Now they're kind of calling it COVID season. Because
Really?
a lot of this is getting like that. It's getting where it's something we're gonna have to deal with probably on a yearly basis. Same time of year, everybody's kind of inside with each other. A lot of stuff spreading. Whew, tough.
Yeah. Yeah. Not fun at all. Not fun. So definitely get well soon, Whitney, if you haven't already. Definitely appreciate you sharing that with us and just kind of, letting people know the tale, man. It's real out there. It's real out there. So definitely be careful. Miss Erica Phelps says it's flu, COVID, RSV, cootie season. All of them. You name it. All of them. So yeah, definitely be careful. Shout out to Phil Rooney. Paul and I were kind of putting together our list of guests that we would like to have on for this season, and Phil's definitely on that list. If you're not familiar, Phil Rooney, again, with the Douglas County Health Department, was definitely instrumental in keeping us on top of the numbers and reporting during the pandemic. Of course, that sort of died down. We kind of lost contact once we left Mind and Soul and started up First Sky. But looking forward to bringing them back on and really coming back with some of that information, especially as we get through this winter.
He's been on it. We just haven't had the capacity yet, but this season we will. So we'll definitely have Phil Rooney coming back on. I also want to give a special shout out to William King, 95.7 The Boss. Been holding it down over the break. I did watch his show a few times over the break just because his show comes on the same time we do our thing. But I went back. I was able to watch some of his stuff as well, and he's holding it down too, man. Really trying to bring us the news that is relevant to us, and having folks on and promoting. He does a lot of promoting of our community, which I really appreciate. So shout out to William King, 95.7 The Boss. Everybody, check that show out too. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have enough. We don't have enough. We need even more people talking about what's going on in our neighborhoods and bigging up the people in the neighborhoods doing the great things and all that good stuff. So shout out to him. I do want to take a quick break. We've been talking a little bit now, 8:08 right now, if you believe in the concept of time. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you, chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, stay tuned. Be right back, y'all. Welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you, chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, thanks for joining us. This is season 7, Love Supreme.
Man.
It's all about the love, y'all, and can't wait to share what we got going on this season with you. This is the first day back, the day after 7 years of us starting and meeting, even
Yeah.
7 years ago, man. 7 years ago, as of yesterday, they started this journey building out Mind and Soul Radio over at the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. When the change of leadership happened, they kind of decided they had to shut the program down, which is the reason why we jumped out and went digital and created our digital radio channel that you can check out at firstskyOmaha.com. Hit the listen button. And then also I wanted to continue this news piece, the morning show, and we've modified it to what it is now, which includes all of you, who we call the chat chimers, the ghost listeners, all of the co-hosts, and it's turned into what it's turned into, which has been a very important thing for our community. Apparently, everybody tells us how important it is that
Man.
we have these kinds of discussions amongst ourselves, and we really appreciate everybody saying that.
Yeah, yeah, it means a lot. I mean, it's kind of the wind in our sails, if you will. Keeps us going. Keeps us
Yep,
going.
yep. Pop says that's a cool track, man. Dug that out from the archives. That's Milo Allen, my
Okay.
cousin that I connected back with when I went back to California. He'd probably be real mad that I played it, but
Mm,
it's like 20 years. This 20 years ago, it's like the archive. So,
mm.
but I still think it's a bomb track.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
pull the
that's
stuff out. So shout out
a
to
beautiful
Milo.
jam.
Yep, yep. I'm sorry, Tony Johnson says declining health and homeless impacting black males in Omaha at highest rate. Okay.
Mm.
Love some info on that. Give us some data behind that statement there. He says black kids have the highest rate of living in poverty in Nebraska, almost 30%. Woo. Yeah.
Pretty high.
Yeah. All these things directly affect the black community in such a strong way. So appreciate it. Rome's review says, hot the like button, hot it, hit it, do everything to it. Hit the like button on YouTube, especially. I think earlier you said we had like 50 new YouTube members. So
Yeah, yeah.
uh, appreciate you giving us those stats, keeping up on that for sure.
Still
Appreciate.
striving for that 500 mark. To get our YouTube game up, to get it where it needs to be. So yeah. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, like, follow, all that good stuff. Hit the bell, the notification bell on YouTube, so you know when we come on, and tap in with us, because that is a part of some of the work and conversations we're having as well. Constantly trying to perfect the tech, constantly looking at what platforms are out there, what new platforms are coming up, what new features are coming up. It's a constantly changing landscape, but we're trying to stay on top of it and make the best experience for you all here. So yeah, definitely stay on top of that. YouTube is where we're looking at right now. So yeah, go ahead and help us out with that.
Yeah, YouTube seems to be where we're going to really concentrate the conversation, and we're going to leave it open for people that's going to be able to participate, like on Facebook as well. But YouTube will be really where that's at. We mentioned earlier that we're going to start refining the Chat Chimers Club. Everybody who's been a participant of what we call our co-host, our Chat Chimers, going to have an opportunity to be able to come in a little closer here with what we got going on with First Sky Omaha. Also receive the benefits of being club members. We got some perks that we're lining up for everybody who's doing that, but we also got some rules and regulations that we're gonna put down on that as well, so we can kind of really refine the chat. For those of you who don't know, the chat has been very important because when we talk to other entities, we let them know we speak to members of our community on a regular basis, and this is what they say they want and they want to hear, and then what they need, and so on and so forth. So. That means that we're as powerful as our chat chimers are powerful, and we definitely want to make sure that we acknowledge that, but also that we have a chat that is very beneficial for communication to the rest of the city and to the state about what it is that we out of our communities would need to have. The black community, North and South Omaha, like Kimber likes to call it, East Omaha.
Oh yeah.
But also all parts of Omaha, black community and allies who are on the same page, of the same mind, and really trying to make the same kind of change happen. We definitely want to make change happen, but that starts with communication. And we just want to make sure that we keep checks and balances on that communication and make sure that everybody is on the same page with what it is that we have to do in order to continue to have positive communication that results in action. And that's
Yep.
what this is all about. So we're that. I see a new name in there says that's Mike Lee Said it's good to be back with you with y'all. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
I
welcome.
don't remember. I don't remember that name. Maybe I'm old, so I don't remember
Yeah, I
things.
feel like I've seen that name a couple times, a few times in the chat. So yeah, welcome. If this is your first time, welcome. Even if you're not a chammer right now, kind of a ghost listening with us, yeah, welcome. And for all the returning listeners, welcome back. Thank you,
There you
thank you.
go. Tony Johnson said Voices for Children puts out an annual report. I appreciate the information. We'll definitely check that out. He says report focuses on issues of health, economic stability, child welfare, and juvenile justice.
Okay.
Thanks for that tip. We definitely will be checking that out for sure. Kimber's in the chat talking about some tea that I need for my throat right now. She said, I'm
Man,
going to make y'all some of my tea. It's really good for you. Pineapple rinds, ginger root, turmeric, rosemary, cinnamon, and raw honey. Like it
okay.
already. I like it already. That sounds real health conscious. Wanda Lewis says, if anyone knows of someone who has ongoing issues with OHA now and previously, please inbox me a message. This needs to happen today. Okay,
Okay.
cool.
There you go.
What you got brewing, Miss Lewis? What's going on over there? What you got going? Let us know. Miss Erica said, Mike was here last season. Okay, I'm trying to
Yeah,
tell you, man.
yeah. I thought I seen that name before. Yeah, welcome back,
I,
Mr.
I,
Lee.
I admit it. I'm old. I be forgetting stuff. That's
Hey,
what it
it
is.
happens. It happens. Well, the mind doesn't forget. It's the recalling that's the issue.
I like that. I only got one problem to deal with now.
Yeah. That
Call.
part. That part.
Oh, he said first time on YouTube. I usually be on there. Okay, that makes
Okay.
sense. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Welcome to the YouTube. Let us know. Are do you like YouTube? Is that easier for you? Is that better? Again, always looking for feedback. Always looking ways to make this experience easier for you. Again, want you to
Yeah.
be able to just tap in and join the conversation.
Welcome back. So, just want to mention about what's going to happen this season too. We're going to be talking a lot about what's going to happen this season, probably for the next 45 minutes. Here we got a couple stories we'll jump into too,
Yeah.
but definitely want to let you know about some of the things that we're working on, and the reason why we named this Love Supreme. First of all, I don't want to put you on the spot, buddy, but what's your feeling behind the reason why we're naming this season Love Supreme? Where do you go with that?
I'll go on a hunch and say we're pretty much on the same page with this. But if any of you again caught my mind goes back to the Dr. Cornel West interview and the conversation we had with the doc, about just the message that he kind of exuded during his speech at the Highlander. Again, you got to be a love warrior. And that's really what this is about. Again, we talk about all of the issues. We talk about, all the problems a lot of times on this show, and reasonably so. It's needed. We definitely need a platform to do that, and I'm sure a lot of you see that. But also, it's not about what you do; it's how you do it. So again, Love Supreme is reminding us, and definitely in season 7, it's a very important season. Reminding us about the love that you have to have for yourself. That's why we're always talking about our mental health, because you got to love yourself enough to know when to unplug, when to know, to step back, when to know that you got to kind of refill your cup, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So, I mean, it's very multifaceted as far as why Love Supreme just felt like the right, kind of theme for the season, the right saying, if you will, because again, we need a real a supreme level of love displayed not only for ourselves but also for our community, and that's what you're going to need to do this work. I mean, it takes I was thinking about Senator McKinney, and shout out to Kimra. We'll probably get into this a little later on, but she posted in Friends of some of the bills that Senator McKinney will be pushing, and some of these bills are, some of the things that were asked for 4 years ago, during the 2020, some of the police reform bills that people were asking for, housing things, some of the issues that were really getting a lot of attention and a lot of motivation and a lot of motion 4 years ago. Senator McKinney is still pushing that, and that takes a lot of love. It takes love and real belief in what you're doing to push that thing for 4 years and to continue to push it. And for those of you who are at the BAA anniversary, it's about a movement, not a moment. And that movement takes love. You got to have the love. Exactly. Whitney in the chat saying, "I love it. Love should be at the root of everything," and that's really what it's about. Having love at the root of everything, and beyond that, also, Love Supreme, coming from was it Coltrane?
hmm
Coltrane, and he's talking about kind of the cross section between your art, your religion, your movement, just your being, your whole being, kind of coming together to produce a beautiful thing. Whether it being art, and really kind of expressing your religion, and expressing your being through art, which is something that we're definitely hoping to do throughout the season. So those are kind of the basis of why I felt like it was appropriate again. Why this season, season 7, is Love Supreme.
Yeah, we borrowed it from the legendary "A Love Supreme" album
Hmm.
from John Coltrane, which actually the that song is a prayer, and it's a way that he's offering and asking for love to rule everything. And one thing that I really think about, the fact that action, we've been building all these different things in our seasons that really apply to the way we're trying to live, apply to how we think we need to make things work in Omaha, especially all the way from the first one, which was activism is journalism. The
Hmm.
ballad of the bullet, space is the place. Dreamwork makes the teamwork makes the dream work. Boost to the roots. I mean, all these things are really for us
Follow
to
the
be
money.
follow the money, are us for us to be taking notice of what's going on in every different aspect of our lives, and then gathering together with people of like mind, and then acting on that. And now season 7 is about what that action is. Last season was boost to the roots, get gathered together and start making some things happen on the grassroots level. But what tools do we use to do that? Season 7 is about being an art warrior and using our talents and our arts and our voice in order to make the change that we're trying to make. And that's what this is all about. But it comes from love. There's nothing that starts, it happens if you don't have love behind it. You don't even
Hmm.
move unless there's love behind the reason why you're doing anything. When I think about the time that we just spent last season hanging out with Beeee, Dr. Cornell West coming through, Dr. Umar, the work that Kasim and Sherman have been doing, all the work that Sherman's doing. Have you guys been seeing what Sherman's been doing? I don't know if
Man,
you guys are in TikTok, but Sherman's on TikTok now, Sherman Wells. And he's really posting on a regular basis, and his podcast is going well as well. And a lot of it is because he loves his community, and he's talking about what's going on with his family and the family of the community, the family in Omaha. Still looking for Brother Blake,
yes,
and he's
yes.
heading up these efforts. All this is because of love for the North Omaha community and Omaha in general, and also the Black community, and also the family, which a lot of us are
Hmm.
in Omaha, especially. So this is where we're coming from with this. Nothing can happen unless you have the fuel. The fuel is love. Nothing can move without it. Also, in my post, I did a Family Day post Sunday, and a friend of mine had posted something that really hit me pretty deeply. It said, people can only love to the level of their own self love."
Yep.
And that really reminded me about what is you got to do, and where haters come from. Haters kind of hate themselves, bro.
Hmm.
They don't like themselves, so they hating on everybody else. People that love themselves give themselves grace, easily give grace and love to other people, the people around you. And again, the only power that exists comes from love. The only way that you get power, the only way you make something happen, make a move, put boots to the root,
Mm.
all of that comes from love.
Mm.
You don't have love, you ain't moving. You ain't even why do anything?
I
Why
mean,
why do anything out here?
what is love? It's not just a feeling. Love is a verb.
It's an action word.
Love is a verb. It's action. Takes action. If you love something, you're gonna do something about that. You're gonna do something with that love. That love is gonna resonate with you and cause you to move. I mean, that's why a lot of people, a lot of us in the chat are doing what we're doing. I'm sure Sister Kimra is doing what she's doing because something about the work is resonating in her heart. It's coming from that center. It's coming from the heart. And that's what it's going to take to really get this done.
Yeah.
So yeah, love supreme, yo.
When you think about all the actions that people take, that we take on everything, sometimes the action seems irrational. Sometimes it seems like a waste of time. Sometimes it seems, if we really think about what it is that we're doing, sometimes we'd be like, why am I, that's not, I'm spinning my wheels. Why am I doing this? Love, when you have love, you're putting the fuel to all those things, and it doesn't matter whether or not you have logically decided it's the wrong thing to do. You just do it. You put that power behind that stuff and you go. Even if in times that you feel like it's not making a difference, or times you feel like nobody's paying attention to it, you still do it, and it's just generated from your love, not nobody else's love, not anybody else's love. It's generated from what you do is generated from your love. So I really appreciate that. Pops in the chat says Jesus said the two greatest things, period, are loving God and loving your neighbor as yourself. It's the
Yeah.
key. It's the key of life. The key of life is love. Man, that's what's up. Kimber Snipes says I had an interesting conversation with the Brain Injury Alliance around potential brain injury in our youth that are showing up in DCYC.
Okay.
Love for youth has got her paying attention and having these kinds of conversations.
Yep.
Several are showing signs and symptoms. You can't buy that. You can't pay somebody to care about our kids in DCYC. You gotta love. You gotta have love. You gotta have love. Mike Lee says intentionally leading with love.
That part.
Tony Johnson says love needs to be coupled with another emotion for action or change. Yeah, love is the gas. You still got to put your foot on the pedal. You still got to move. You still got to steer. But you got to put gas in the tank.
Yeah.
Stephen Abraham says there is a push for black farmers in the state of Nebraska. The Nebraska Farmers of Color Opportunity Act, proposed by Senator Carol Blood of Bellevue. All right, Barrel Blood. Back
Barrel
in the loop.
Blood.
She says Barrel Blood of Bellevue.
Triple bees. Killer bees.
With grant tax breaks to organizations awarding grants to black farmers or food producers, Blood said only 1.4% of farmers in Nebraska today are black, compared to 14% a century ago. Every young, especially the young black farmers that I meet out here, because there are some, really, really love the way that they are doing what they're doing, and really want to support that. And that's one of my goals this year, is to really support the black farmers, the ones that are doing preserving the seeds, the ones that are actually growing and selling. I really want a portion of what it is that I buy this year to come from them. So if we can support the black farmers, especially, that's a great way to do it. So thank you for that information. We'll definitely be keeping our eye on the the Nebraska Farmers of Color Opportunity Act.
Okay.
Pass along that information to some of the people that we know, if they haven't already received that information, might be able to help them out with that information. But digging in the dirt and growing food, all love acts.
Oh yeah.
All love acts. That's really what's going on. Miss Gwen Easter, you doing it to me again. It's good to hear from you. Good morning. Thanks for coming back. She says, good morning and welcome back. She has a public announcement below. Please share these public announcements in Friends of First Sky Omaha. It's a little too much for us to read on a chat inside the show. I'm kind of trying to scan it. I see that there's an event going on January 20th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll definitely take a look at it. He says Senator Terrell McKinney, Justin Wayne, Councilwoman Juanita Johnson have been invited. So we'll look at this haps that you got going on here and kind of look through this maybe during the break and can kind of reiterate what's going on here. But thank you very much for coming in and participating. We really appreciate that. And please put your information in Friends of First Sky Omaha for everybody to be able to reference as well. Stephen Abraham says, good morning, Grand Rising. We made it through another rotation, everyone. Appreciate you coming through.
Indeed.
Yep. Mr. Phil says, football is so heavy in Nebraska for children that it makes sense for head injuries to happen and that causing antisocial behaviors. Whoa. Okay. Very interesting direction. Also, Tonight Patterson said, this is war. Woo.
Yeah. Hence the term love warrior. Hence the term love warrior. Yeah, definitely.
Rose Reviews is reminding us Simone Sanders, an Omaha native, is getting a show on MSNBC. Shout out to her. Shout out to Terry Sanders for doing the work she's doing over there at the Omaha Star. And I've been checking out some clips from Simone Sanders. She's firing up, putting it on people. Appreciate her work as well. North Omaha native. Gwen Easter says the commission will be supporting Senator Blood's farming bill. Okay, so we'll look more about the commission that you're talking about in your comment. Appreciate that very much. Mike Lee says, would be cool if North O had farmers market. Yes, they did. We did at one point. There was the farmers market on 24th Street that was happening around the same time all the other farmers markets were. I believe it was self-generated. It was not in association with the other farmers markets around Omaha. but they did have one down on 24th Street a few years back. So I would love to see what's going on there with that. Brooke said I would love to farm. Really?
There you go.
Really
Well,
interested
Brooke,
in farming?
you can holler at the BAA.
Hey,
Again, Brother Kasim says we start farming the land we bought starting spring. So there you go.
there you go. BAA is going to be doing some farming on that land. I know the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation has the
Yep.
Betty Shabazz garden that they do
Yep.
every year, and there's a bunch of community gardens around town too that you can be a part of. And of course, if you have a house with some land on it, man, farm right there on your own land for real.
Mm-hmm. That's actually one of the things I was actually looking at during the break. Was a lot of like urban farming tips, kind of
Mm.
survivalist guides and tips. I don't know if any of y'all saw the film Leave what was it, Leave the World Behind? That Netflix film with Mahershala Ali.
Man,
Yeah. So I was kind of on this survivalist kick for a couple a couple days.
see,
But yeah, you got to be on it. Got to
that's
be
what,
on it.
that's what we be on. The rich folks are building bunkers, but
Yeah.
we be on how we gonna survive on top of the land. That's what's up. She said farming like Kellis. I can see it. Okay. Mike Lee says, speaking of love, don't forget Brother Love's kickoff Wednesday at the Highlander. See, I thought I missed that. Thank you for that information. Preston Love Jr. is having a kickoff. He's going to be running for office and up against Pete Ricketts.
Man.
And that's kicking off Wednesday. We'll definitely look into that. Appreciate that information. I thought that I missed that already. I was seeing some information on it, and I mistakenly thought that I missed that. But that's happening Wednesday at the Highlander. Lots of stuff happening at the Highlander. No more empty pots. Open the greenhouse over there at the Highlander. They're not hiring, so if you got some aspirations to help grow food and be a part of that situation, you might want to check with No More Empty Pots, because I heard they were hiring as well. So
Man.
yeah, we'll definitely check it out. Wanda Lewis says Levi Blake was one of our local to go missing that has been brought to our attention. There has been others previously and since. One person in Lincoln and one that I'm aware of in Iowa. Not to forget black and brown people who has yet to be located. My daughter brought to my attention that trafficking of human body parts do exist. Oof. Please let's stay vigilant and keep an open mind, not trying to scare anyone.
No,
Yeah, but keep the eyes open though.
it's a reality. It's a reality. And specifically Omaha, Nebraska. And it's just by sheer geographical location being in the center of the nation. Yeah, I have definitely heard of, those type of activities making their way through Omaha.
Got it. Also, I just came from California where they have started the Ebony Alert. Have you heard about this?
I think we talked about it, but please refresh my memory.
Yeah, so of course you guys know about the Amber Alert. It goes off every so often on our phone. From what I understand, no, it wasn't. We talked about it before because we thought Amber came from Omaha, but
No, it didn't. There was an Amber that went missing in Omaha, but it did not start with her.
So y'all know what the Amber Alert is. So they in order to address the reason why black and brown kids don't get the same kind of attention when they go missing, Newsom started the Ebony Alert out in California, which I think is really interesting. A lot of people were skeptical about what that means, what that will mean if you're on an Ebony Alert where you get as much attention. But I think it's the whole point. The whole point of having it is because they're not getting enough attention when they end up missing. So I think it's really interesting. I'm gonna be talking a lot about what they do this season. There's some stuff going on in California. I'm gonna be talking a lot about. If Newsom was on the ticket, then it might be something that I would go for. There's a lot of stuff happening from reparations to Ebony Alerts that are happening in out there to holding cops accountable. All kinds of stuff going on.
And some of those bills could possibly be making their way to Nebraska. Big shout out to Senator McKinney. And again, we'll be kind of talking about some of his bills a little later on. But yeah, that's definitely one of them that I'm looking at is reparations situation. We also spoke about, I do remember the Ebony Alert conversation. We talked about possibly getting an elderly alert, maybe a Blake alert, for our elderly individuals who might go missing. So
Most of
yeah, a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to kind of look at as far as what's going on around the nation, especially California and those areas.
Yeah, because we always talk about how Omaha is the Mississippi of the Midwest. We always are talking about what our governor is doing that's similar to what like the North Carolina governor is doing and so on. We do a lot of that kind of comparison. because it always seems like it comes up that our state acts like other states that have a lot of oppression going on. And we talk about that a lot. But we should also be talking about states that have solutions that might work here as well, like what some of the things that are going on in California and other states, and more in Atlanta as well. What things are happening that our state can benefit from if they took an example. So we'll definitely be talking about a lot of that kind of stuff too. So,
Oh, yeah.
and most deaf. Kimber says, absolutely, we supposed to love our brothers sisters as we love ourselves. There you go. Brooke said, during the pandemic, I did some hardcore gardening. Yeah. we was
Okay.
on it, for sure. Miss Erica Phil says, the farmers market at Charles Drew is affiliated with the Omaha Farmers Market and allows local farmers to pay to participate and accept SNAP.
Beautiful.
Great information.
I wonder if No More Empty Pots in the Highlander greenhouse, or if they'll be having markets available, and if they'll be accepting SNAP and things like that. So yeah, might have to get Nancy on through.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I talked to her a couple seasons ago, and we talked about her coming on the show. So it'd be a great time to talk about that now, especially with what they got going on over there with the greenhouse. Kimber Snipe says that they weren't referring to football injuries for these youth coming into DCYC. It's more like getting into fights and losing unconsciousness, resulting in lack of oxygen to the brain. Oh, okay. Fights at DCYC that are resulting in that kind of stuff. That's crazy. So this is just one system. She talked about others. I connected with her with the neighborhood alliances. Okay. I must have missed something that you were talking about earlier. So appreciate that, though. Appreciate that information. We definitely want to talk about that. Obviously, we care about the kids at DCYC and want to talk about what's going on there, and also more neighborhood talk. I'm glad you brought that up. Definitely need to continue on with the neighborhoods. If you have not become a member of your neighborhood association, or there is not one in your neighborhood, start one. We still want to put that challenge out there for people to really gather. We consider what we're doing here a digital neighborhood association, so we appreciate everybody that is joined in here, all the Chad Chimers, all the Ghost listeners. But on the physical tip, on what's going on with your neighbors, the people that are right next to you, you definitely still want to connect with them and find out, do the same thing, talk, find out what the needs are, what the important things are about your block, especially right now when everybody kind of needs to be looking out for your neighbor because of this weather. So definitely continue on. We'll keep checking in with Kimra and Precious on the neighborhood associations and alliances, so we can get information, keep that on top of mind as well, and keep it on everybody's mind to join yours. So really appreciate that. Marianne Williams in the chat. Good morning.
Hey.
Almost forgot you were back today. Welcome back. Appreciate you coming through.
Thank you.
Appreciate all the things that you have posted in Friends of First Sky Omaha over the break as well. You always are doing a great job in doing that. If you missed some of this show, of course, you can go back and check it out. We've talked a little bit about how we're going to refine the Chat Chimers. It's going to be Chat Chimers Club coming up. A few things that you guys can do in order to really kind of solidify yourselves as Chat Chimers, and some perks that we're going to put together for you guys for being our co-hosts as well. So lots to talk about. I'm thinking about people who are in the chat right now: Marianne Williams, Kimra Snipes, Wanda Lewis. A lot of people who get down. Let's see, Mike Lee. Who is his campaign? Oh, you talk. Okay, Mike Lee. Okay.
Yeah, they're talking to each other. They're talking to each other in the chat.
I just realized who Mike Lee is. See, I'm tripping with the names. The names got me all twisted up. Appreciate you very much, though, coming on in. Roscoe Wallace in the chat.
Hey.
I finally got to meet Brother Wallace face to face over the break. Says, good morning. I would love for us to create a grief garden for the community to cultivate honoring the memory. Ooh,
I like that.
love that idea.
I like that. Might even mix some ashes with some tree plants, and that type of vibe.
Okay.
Ancestor garden.
Wow, that's deep. Brother Wallace, I'm looking forward to getting to know you over the course of this next season here. Kimra Snipes has spoken highly of you. Everybody who I talk to that knows you knows that you boots to the roots. You do some things around here, and we're all about that. So collaboration will ensue, hopefully. So really appreciate you jumping in on the chat as well. Just want to remind everybody, share the show. I forgot to do that earlier. Share the show on your page. Get as many people in talking as we can. And also, if you miss any parts of this show, you can go back and look at them on Facebook and YouTube. We're really leaning towards YouTube for the continuation of the chat this season. That's going to be kind of be where the main interaction will lie is on YouTube. As a matter of fact, the Chat Chimers Club. If you're going to enter the Chat Chimers Club, most of the we're going to send you over to YouTube exclusively to kind of come into the chat and get down with us over there, because there's some things that YouTube has that we can, perks and things that we can really kind of acknowledge the Chat Chimers who come over there. Facebook don't do too good with it, but we recognize that you guys, some people are used to Facebook. You can definitely get down. Chat Chimers Club is going to live over on YouTube for the moment, though. So just letting you know. And one thing I meant to say before we went to the last break about the changes and about the things that are going to be happening this season 7 is that it's a creative season. It's going to be us experimenting with a bunch of different things, including the format, including the programs even. And we might even open up some, different platforms in order to have chats with different people that are on those platforms, like Instagram. We're definitely going to be doing a lot more work on TikTok. There's a lot of stuff that's coming up for us, and it's going to be experimental. And during those experiments, we're going to be asking you, the regulars, the Chat Chimers, and ghost listeners too. We're going to be asking everyone what you prefer. Where are you at? We still are trying to meet you where you're at. I'm noticing a lot of people are on TikTok, and it's apparent that we have to expand our reach on TikTok in a big way. But we're also really working on expanding our reach on YouTube, and bringing more shows, bringing all kinds of things together, and also the memberships that we're expanding this season as well, so you guys can be even more of a part of what it is that we're doing, and also First Sky Omaha stage. So we'll be doing some events this year as well. This season is going to be chock full of us experimenting on getting to the next level with First Sky Omaha, and you guys are all going to be a part of it with us, so we really appreciate it.
Yeah, you brought us this far. Actually, I haven't really talked to you about this, Paul, but I kind of want to drop it out there right now. As far as we talked about the website, and I kind of wonder if any of you would be interested in some beta testing. I would love to get some feedback from you all on our website, how it's going. Again, you are a part of our community. You're a part of this endeavor. You helped us build it. It would not be the same without you. And we definitely consider a lot of you all our co-hosts. So I have a few people in mind that I do want to reach out to personally. But again, if anybody in the chat, if you're interested in, beta testing, checking out our website before we go fully live, let me know.
Yep. Appreciate that. 8:42 right now, if you believe in the concept of time. Before we lose track of time here and have to get out of here soon, Buddy, let's jump into a couple of the important things that we had laid out there, because I definitely want to talk about these bills. That's going to be a major point of conversation here this season, is what Senator Terrell McKinney and Senator Justin Wayne are pushing in the legislature right now. We're going to have them back on. As a matter of fact, we're going to work with them on which day they're going to come back. We're going to consult with them on that, because they're going up to the unicameral like all the time now. We have to make sure that we are going to be good with their schedule and figure out what they want to do. So we'll definitely either have them back. I believe it's either going to be Monday or Friday, and we'll let them choose. But they'll be back to talk about some of these things. But in the meantime, what can we tee up for them?
Yeah. Again, big shout out to what we're calling loosely now our Minister of Information, Miss Kimra Snipes. Thank you. She posted in Friends of some of the bills to look out for, specifically from Senator McKinney, who's coming in swinging, as Paul said, with a few heavy hitters, man. Of course, looking at LB 1024, which is the one that I was mentioning earlier, or excuse me, LB 1044, excuse me. Again, LB 1044, which is a bill to create a task force to study reparations for slavery and also change permitted uses of tax imposed on marijuana. Again, there's been a lot of support throughout the state of Nebraska for medical marijuana, and again, kind of opening the pathway for that. Again, the tax issue is a big kind of key in that. So would definitely look forward to seeing how that conversation kind of plays out. If you're a member, actually, voters in the state did vote for medical marijuana, and then the Supreme Court struck it down on rules. So we'll definitely kind of see how that plays out with this situation. Other bills that Senator McKinney will be pushing, LB 54, which is to require the Office of Legislative Research to prepare racial impact statements for legislative bills, which is also a huge one that we should all be looking out for. Of course, we talk about it here on the show all the time, just about how certain bills will impact us as quote unquote minorities or BIPOC, or however you want to identify yourself. But again, this bill will require that for all the bills that come out to have an impact statement for different races. So big shout out to Senator McKinney for that. And then also a big one to look out for, LB 284. Again, that's LB 284, which is a bill to adopt the Municipal Police Oversight Act. Also require maintenance of the Brady and Giglio list, which again, if you remember, are the list that kind of tracks the background, the behavior of certain officers. Again, we know that officers get in trouble in other markets, other areas, get fired, have to leave their position, and then just pack up, move to another area and start all over. And that stuff doesn't really follow them. So that Brady and Giglio list will definitely allow us to be able to be aware of some of those histories of those, officers patrolling our streets. Also, this bill will restrict the usage of no-knock warrants, prohibit the collection of data on gang membership. Again, if you know anything about gang data files, not only gang members, but relatives, friends, anybody who is really connected in any way to a known gang member gets a certain mistreatment. So we can open up that whole conversation. But again, this bill addresses that and many other things in criminal justice reform. So big shout out to Senator McKinney. Looking forward to having him on and kind of picking his brain a little bit more about some of these bills in the upcoming session.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. Can't wait to really get with him on that. So shout out to the senators, man, really kind of doing their thing in a big way. Like it's a tough job. We have learned over the course of the last couple seasons how tough this job is. What they have to deal with to get to the job, and then also what they got to deal with when they're at the job. And they keep on telling us, hey, we need you guys to come out here and really represent. We're really going to put boots to the roots this season on trying to get people out to help them fight in the legislation for bills, and for the bills that some of the things that we just mentioned that they're going to be fighting for, and also to fight against some of the things that they need help fighting against as well. And they this is not a new thing. People do this all the time. People that we consider the other side sometimes, they have plenty of help, plenty of people that come down and advocate for things that we're not about. And so it's really interesting that sometimes it's hard to get our own folks out to help advocate for some of the things we need. And so we're really going to be really pushing for that and putting groups together to do that this time around as well.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting. I'm just thinking about it now at this moment. Like they represent us. They are our senators. They are elected representatives. But what are we giving them to represent? How are we helping their job? They're representatives, but what are they representing? What are we telling them? What are we supporting? Well, how are we supporting them? How are we helping them help us? So again, we got to get active. We can't just sit back and let them do all the work.
And they get a lot. They meet with their constituents all the time. They talk to their constituents all the time. But because all we do is tell them say the things that we want. We're talking about actually taking some action on some of this stuff. Like we can't just tell them this is what we want and then have them go off and fight for it without the support. They also need the support of people that come through and help support it. Yep. So we're definitely on that. And don't want to lose sight of that. That's just one part of the fight. Other part of the fight are the people that have boots on the roots. You also need to come through when it comes to the BAA. Volunteer with the cats that are on the ground, talking to the youth, dealing with the youth, putting programs together for people as well. Because we need both. We need bills and laws to change, and we need activity and leaders to step up and to do things as well. Those things are not mutually exclusive. They actually go hand in hand. So the same energy that we put in going up to the legislature to fight for a bill is the same energy that we need to be putting in making sure that the BAA is funded, making sure that the BAA has leaders that they can tap to work with some of the youth, and so on and so forth. So that's where we're at.
There you go. And that's a love supreme. Also, a big shout out to Kimra, who was apparently at the rules change debate. So it's not just about the bills that are being pushed and the bills that are being presented, but how do those bills move through the legislature? And again, what are some of the rules surrounding those, which those are changing as well. And again, there's some things to look out for in regards to those changes. If you give me 1 second, try to pull this up from Kimra.
She said, "Go ahead."
Again, a lot of this is already on Friends of, so we appreciate y'all for posting some of that. But there are about 4 rules that Sister Kimra has shared with us. But there's a lot more that we should be looking out for. And apparently today at 7 p.m., there'll be some things going on with the League of Women Voters. So big shout out to them for their work, especially during election season. But Kimura says the Nebraska Legislature Rules Committee met last Monday with a few of the senators to evaluate all 35 proposed rule changes. There are a number of rule changes that a coalition, including the Nebraska Civic Engagement Table and the Coalition for a Strong Nebraska and the Nonprofit Association of the Midlands, who identified rule change proposals that posed the most significant threats to Nebraska's legislative structure and process. Kimura says she went to Lincoln, and these are a few of her notes. One of the rules, rule number 1, is to lower the threshold for cloture to a percentage of senators present for voting, as opposed to the current 33 votes, which is very interesting. Again, that definitely lowers the threshold when you look at some of the senators who abstain from voting, some who don't show up on voting days. Another tactic, a kind of filibuster tactic, if you will, could be made available if this rule goes through. So definitely something to look out for, especially if you remember how the filibuster impacted a lot of the bills that we were paying a close attention to last year. This could be another kind of monkey wrench in the whole process, if you will. Also, rule number 3 to look out for is a rule that would change the process for selecting chairmanship positions to remove voting by secret ballot, which is definitely something that's interesting when we're learning more about the legislature and how it works, and the importance of the chairperson for all the committees, and how much power and say so that chairperson has, and how these committees run, and how effective these committees are, and some of the bills that these committees discuss. Again, it is interesting to see how these people are selected, and the fact that there is a secret ballot. This could be changing, so that's also a rule that we should look out for. And then also rule number 25, which is additional change to cloture rule introduced by Speaker John Arch, something to look out for. So. And then last but not least, definitely something also is the bill, or a rule number 29, that will limit the number of bills the senator is allowed to introduce to 14. Those who introduce 5 or fewer bills are able to prioritize an additional bill. It is very interesting when you look at what bills are priority bills, what bills get pushed, what bills senators have to kind of choose to put on the cutting block, because again, there is only so much that can be done within the allotted time for the session. So again, all of these rule changes could dramatically and drastically change how our legislature is run, how bills are passed, and ultimately how our state is run. So definitely look out for that. Again, today at 7 p.m., you can register to learn more about how these bills and their potential impacts will happen. There's a Q&A and discussion hosted by Civic Nebraska, Common Cause, and the League of Women Voters of Greater Omaha. Again, that's today, January 15th at 7 p.m.
Yeah, we will be talking about these things here on the show as well, but it's always good to get some more information on that. So definitely register, learn more about the bills. The work that Civic Nebraska and League of Women's Voters are doing is awesome. So they are very dedicated to explaining these things out. So that's kind of the first step, is really understanding what's going on with rules changes, what goes on with bills as well. Some of the things that we want to go help push and promote, or help fight, or speak out against, or even find out whether or not we can speak out against things like rules changing. All that kind of information will be here. We got to take that first step of going to get that information first, in order to really kind of be out there and do something about fighting and helping the cause as well. So when we have the senators on, we'll talk about these particular four rules that Kimra Snipes pulled out, and see where they stand on those things, and hear from them what exactly these things would mean for the way they got to do business there. So we'll definitely be checking those things out for sure. So appreciate Kimra again for doing the research and bringing some of that research here to what it is that we're doing. Really got a feature what it is she's doing, and I appreciate that very much. So definitely check it out. And if you want to register here, we'll put the link in the chat for you to register and learn more about it. And there you go. So definitely hit that, check that out, find out the information so that we can figure out what we need to fight.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
actually, the League of Women Voters, we got to get them on this season too. They always put out the voters guide,
Hmm.
which is a pretty robust, pamphlet of information, especially for those of you who are going out to vote. You want to be armed with the information and know who you're voting for and who you're voting against. So again, we'll definitely be looking forward to speaking more to the League of Women Voters. But again, tonight is going down at 7 p.m. So if you're interested in that information, definitely hit the link.
Absolutely. We got about 5 minutes left in the show, and so we don't really have a lot of time to get busy here. But we definitely want to talk a little bit about what's going on here with this Conserve Energy Now situation.
Mm.
What OPPD is talking about, because it's kind of relevant to what it is that we're doing here. Unfortunately, we have to kind of really pay attention to that because of what's happening here with that. I'll go ahead and post this here, but OPPD is asking customers to begin conserving energy today. This was yesterday. This came out, and for the next several days, due to dangerously cold temperatures causing an increased demand for electricity. So yeah, this is going to be tough. High demand can put additional strain on our system. Taking some simple steps not only benefits our customers but also our neighbors during the ongoing deep chill. These measures will also help lower your electric bills. They're trying to tempt us with that one.
Hmm.
Lower your thermostat by 2 to 4 degrees below your normal temperature. Avoid using appliances. Plan for the cold by preparing for potential power outages. This is where it gets interesting. There might be potential power outages, accidental and on purpose. And so they're saying, hey, do your part to conserve so that this doesn't happen accidentally or on purpose. That the outages are happening. It's too cold out here for people to be having power outages. So that kind of struck my attention right away. But yes, they want you to conserve energy now. We've had situations in the past where we had the rolling blackouts and the things that were happening to people because of the strain on the system. So we definitely want to make sure that we do our part, but stay warm, man, at all
Yeah,
costs. Like I said,
we
stay
trying to.
warm. Gwen Easter in the chat. I want to give her a moment. She said the shorter version is what she just put here. Miss Easter, even half of this even is what I really need for a shorter version. But
I got the information though. I looked
okay,
through it. Yeah,
I
I
was gonna say
highlighted the important part.
okay, good. I'm glad you did that because I was getting ready to read it all through. Go ahead.
No need, no need. I got a more concise thing for you. And this is actually thank you. I'm glad you kind of reiterated and are pushing this because this is tied to an article that we're definitely gonna have to talk about throughout this week. I'm not gonna have time to get into it today, but this is big news again. Continuing to follow the money. Again, Nebraska Governor Pillen and Omaha Mayor Stothert recently announced $124 million North Omaha development grant that is coming to the area. It is that those funds will be going to the airport business park, which we've been hearing about, and also Levi Carter Park Community Center. So again, if you've been to Levi, the Carter Lake recently, and you kind of seen the grounds there, could definitely use some renovation. But again, anytime there's a large lump sum of money coming into the community, of course, there's a lot of questions that need to be asked and a lot of questions that need to be answered. And a big shout out to the African American Commission because it seems like they will be hosting public forum community town hall meeting that's going down on January 20th, 2024 from 10 to 1 p.m. That's at the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. Again, that's located at 3448 Evans Street. Again, that's January 20th from 10 to 1. This will be a community forum and public forum community town hall on some of those issues and some of that development coming to, again, the industrial business park at the airport, Levi, Carter Lake, area. Also, Senator Terrell McKinney, Senator Justin Wayne, Councilwoman Juanita Johnson will be in attendance. So definitely you want to check this out. Mark your calendars. We will be reiterating this as we get closer to the date. Again, January 20th. I want to say, was that this Saturday?
Yeah, coming up. Yep.
Yep, this Saturday. So we'll definitely be talking about that throughout this week. But again, this is connected to LB 1024 and 531. Also, again, some of that business park was a part of that bill. Those funds are still going out. There's still a lot of movement with that. So again, please make sure you show up to this. Have your questions ready. Have your, have everything you need to take your notes. And yeah, let's talk about
For sure. We're gonna go ahead and get out here. Yes, Gwen Easter, she said I tried. You did. I appreciate you cutting
it.
it
Thank
down
you,
like
thank
you
you.
did. The information is there, and we picked a format here that sometimes doesn't allow us to go in that deep on a thing. But we are working on situations where we can go even deeper on some other things. So we'll definitely be keep in contact with you on that. We really appreciate your efforts in bringing us this information. We consider you an expert in the field as well, and a person who has really stepped up. You came to the content creator camps as well, so you've been coming in there trying to
Hmm.
come in and make sure that you can help people understand some of this information. So we really appreciate all your efforts and everybody else. Go ahead.
Actually, you just gave me an idea, Sister Gwen. You always have a lot of information. Again, with the website, a big part of the website is having a place where those stories, that information can go. So again, if you want to draft up something, if you want to write something, and post that on the website to kind of keep people on top of what's going on with the Commission on African American Affairs, let's get that going. Again, that's part of the expansion of First Sky Omaha. Is not just here on the live stream, but we're looking to spread the information even further. So thank you.
Yep. Some things never change. It's already 1 minute after 9. We've already broken the agreement of our 9 o'clock end time, and we're gonna continue on. But we appreciate everybody that's here. Rome's reviews is saying, "Have a blessed day, everyone." Appreciate you, Amir Sanchez. He give us some good advice too. Keep the gas tank in your car full. Low tanks can freeze your fuel lines. Come
Mm.
on with all the information we need on this. Miss Erica Phil says most of us have gas heater and water. I'm keeping unnecessary lights off and run the dishwasher and washer and dryer overnight when it's not peak hours. These are some of the things we can do to preserve the energy the OPPD is asking about. Mama God is saying, I got super cold in our home on Sunday a.m. Thermostat would not rise to over 70 no matter what. After investigating, we replaced our air filters. Temperatures rose. Check your filters to improve furnace performance. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
that tip.
Just
Uh,
changed mine.
There's a couple people that I've been hearing that didn't necessarily go black out, but they went brown out, and
Mm.
that made it so that they didn't get all the energy that they needed in order to run their heaters and things like that. That was a tough thing. So check on moral of the story here is check on everybody who you care about, and everybody keep in touch with everybody for sure. Marlon Harrison saying Brieful is having a town hall on Wednesday. We'll talk more about that. As a matter of fact, we've talked to Brianna Full, who is on the school board, about coming on regularly to the show this season to talk about what's going on with the school board, but also to talk about her new role. She's got a new job. We'll let her talk about that when she comes on very soon. So thank you very much for being able to for giving us that heads up, Marlon Harrison, about her town hall. We'll get more information about that and talk about it Wednesday, and also put it up on Friends of First Sky Omaha. So thank you very much. Appreciate you very much. Marianne Williams says, stay warm all. See you Wednesday. Mr. Erica Fell says, great season premiere. Love chatting with everyone and getting great food for thought. Even in the cold, you must drink your water and be good to yourselves, everyone. One more thing I want to talk about, too, is a lot of men that I know out here, manly men coming out with their snow blowers, cutting pathways in the sidewalks and so on and so forth, using your shovels, shoveling people out. We appreciate you, but remember, them capillaries, they get real small for that blood flow when you're out there. Don't give yourself a heart attack out here shoveling the snow.
Mm.
Don't do it. I know two people who had heart attacks since I've been here since 2010. Two people that had heart attacks out shoveling snow. Healthy folks that didn't have heart problems. But what happens is your capillaries and your veins and these things shrink when you're out here in that cold weather. And when you're exerting yourself, shoveling and doing all these things, then you're trying to pump blood through places that are too small for the blood to go, and you end up in trouble. If you're over 40, especially, watch yourself. Watch yourself. So anyway, we're gonna continue on, man. This is gonna be a thing for me. I'm gonna be like, what are all the tips that I need to know how to survive in this cold weather? We're gonna be talking about this until
Oh,
it
yeah.
warms up.
Health
So,
is wealth, y'all.
so give us all your home remedies and all your everything that you got. Health is wealth. We need that. We need that. We need that. We need you. So thank you very much for coming back with us. Please tell a friend,
Yeah.
tell a friend, tell a friend. Let's go ahead and get out of here at 9:04. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for all tuning in on the launch of season 7, Love Supreme. Definitely feeling the love in the chat. Hopefully you all are feeling the love from us because we do love you. We appreciate you. We thank you. And yeah, as everybody's saying, man, stay warm. Check on your loved ones. You check on your beasts of the field, your pets. Make sure that they're safe as well. Some of you consider them family members. So yeah, check on the fam. Check on the fam.
No, no,
Also,
I don't miss you.
yeah, sip on them hot toddies. RG
Mm.
reminding us. Thank you, thank you. Maybe even hit up Miss Erica Felt for some of her broth. Get you, sip you on some broth. That'll
Man,
get you right in this cold. So yeah, definitely appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We thank y'all. Excited for season 7. Excited for the new year. And yeah, let's continue moving, man. So with that, take care of yourselves. In the meantime, between time, Paul B,
yo.
take it away, man.
That's what's up. Pop says, great show and see you Wednesday. Appreciate that very much. Rome's Review says, hit the like button on your way out. Appreciate that too. Marion Williams says, stay warm. I'll see you Wednesday. Also, Mama God says, love you, First Sky fam. See you on Wednesday. Appreciate you very much. Miss Eric Phil says, you're appreciated. Don't overdo it. Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
that. Sue Kessler Hagen says, stay warm. I'll see you Wednesday. Appreciate you. Brooke says, good show. Thank you.
thank
Thank
you.
you. And also, Miss Erica Felt leaves us with check on the neighbors you don't like.
As
Now,
Kimber said, you gotta love even when it hurts.
that's love. That's love. Thanks for joining us. We will see you Wednesday. You guys have a great one. Take care of yourself. Stay warm. Keep the heat on, like they say in Minneapolis. Peace.
Peace.
By the way,